No one's in the office today because it's Canadian Thanksgiving, so I say we get up to some crazy hijinks. Dennis, what if we did the tech news? What if we did that? Oh, that would be so bad. Even Nvidia agrees that their launch of the RTX 3080 and 3090 was, well, it could have gone better, to say the least. So Team Green has announced they'll no longer be selling Founders Edition versions of those GPUs through their own online store. Instead, if you want the vanilla version instead of the ones made by an OEM like Asus, MSI, or EVGA, you'll have to get it from Best Buy in the US. No word yet on what alternative stores will be the go-to in other countries. Now, to be fair, there's a reason that so many product manufacturers don't offer their products on their own online store. It's a lot of work to do logistics for this stuff. I mean, might be just as much work as limiting inventory to keep demand and prices high. You know? Gotta keep on that grind. This is just a joke, please don't read into it too much. With the US election coming up, Microsoft has taken it upon itself to disrupt the activity of Trickbot, a ransomware botnet that could be used to attack voting infrastructure. Interestingly, Microsoft obtained a government approval to take action by filing a legal complaint claiming the botnet was abusing Microsoft's trademarks. Because many wrongs can be forgiven. Trademarks? Those are sacred. The company was able to disable some of Trickbot's command servers and suspend service to its operators, and while the service hasn't been fully taken down, its ability to do the bad things it does has been impaired. With Trickbot being one of the main methods used to deliver ransomware like the Ryuk program, the hope is that bad actors will be too busy finding alternatives to disrupt the election. Oh, maybe they'll, I don't know, go find security holes in Apple's network. You know, that can be pretty lucrative, as we found out on Friday. Also, doing bad things is bad. Don't do it! And the latest development in the Epic Games versus Apple saga is that nothing has really changed. Okay, well, it has. Despite being told they can't remove Epic's Unreal Engine developer accounts on iOS, Apple was still trying to do exactly that, while Epic was trying to get an injunction forcing Apple to reinstate Fortnite onto the App Store while the lawsuit proceeds. Because according to Epic, their case was so good that they're definitely gonna win. So you might as well just put it back. Just put it back on there. Well, the latest ruling has denied both companies those requests. Apple can't touch Unreal Engine, but Fortnite will also not be reinstated to the iOS App Store in its current form. Now here's the funny part, guys. The judge told Epic if they remove the direct payment option that started this whole mess, Apple will put the game back on the App Store, and the judge will order Apple's 30% cut to be held by a third party until the lawsuit is over with. Okay? If Epic wins, they get that money. And Epic refused, which is either stupid or admirable. It's probably somewhere in between, but I prefer black and white options. It just makes life simpler. Now it's time for the quick bits, brought to you by the MSI Mag B550 Tomahawk motherboard. This bad boy supports AM4 socket 3rd gen AMD Ryzen processors, but with a BIOS update, it will be fully ready for those fancy new Ryzen 5000 series chips everyone's talking about. It can handle 5100 MHz overclocked DDR4 memory and has a variety of creature comforts, including PCIe 4.0, 2 M.2 slots with Shield Frozer thermal pads, and onboard 2.5 gig LAN. So get Ryzen 5000 ready and check out the Tomahawk at the link below. Quick bits. Star Citizen turned 8 years old on Sunday. It launched October 10th, 2012 as a Kickstarter project, but fascinatingly, it doesn't look like it's releasing anytime soon. The game has raised $314 million in that time, and if you thought, they gotta be running out of money. Sorry, they generated over $3 million from backers in September, and 2020 has been the biggest year in terms of revenue, players, and engagement, even though the Squadron 42 single player campaign is about 5 years late. But guys, trust me, when this game comes out, it'll be a really good game. I spent $42,000 on it. The European Union is planning more regulations to rein in the massive market power of tech giants like Facebook, Apple, and Google, who could be forced to share data with rivals and be transparent about their data collection policies. Because if Congress can't make them behave, then maybe someone with a European accent will. You've been bad boys! Go sit in the corner. That's not a specific accent. That's just what Europeans sound like. More upset Xbox One owners have joined a class action lawsuit against Microsoft, claiming they knew about a thumbstick drift issue on their Elite Series controllers. They want a settlement, I'm assuming for emotional damages for all of those missed headshots in Call of Duty. I mean, a guy can only hear so many jokes about his mom from 13-year-olds, you know? It can get to you. Singapore Airlines decided to turn 2 of its planes into impromptu restaurants, since not many people are flying right now, which is silly. Who would choose to sit in a tiny plane seat? And they sold out within 30 minutes of opening bookings. I think we're starting to go insane. Planes suck. But our last story is just the right amount of insane. YouTube channel The Hacksmith has built the world's first retractable lightsaber with a blade made of actual plasma. Sure, it's just a really long, stable flame, but it looks super cool, and it's given me hope in humanity again. If things actually go to I'm heading to their studio and stealing that thing. Better end this episode before I say something I shouldn't, so come back on Wednesday when we'll probably go back to doing our normal thing on Techlinked, which is tech news. But this was fun too.